Hey, good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. How was your last week? How was the 4th of July week? Was it great? It's all about freedom. But there was one aspect of it. I loved the interaction with family. I loved the time that we spent together. I loved the week all over. But there was one very frustrating part of it. We went and saw the movie The Sound of Freedom, starring Jim Caviezel. And I'm telling you, go see the movie. Yes, it's frustrating, but here's the bottom line. I walked away from that saying, what can I do about this? This is a $150 billion criminal enterprise in sex trafficking, human trafficking, that is growing faster than any other criminal enterprise in the world. And the United States is number one. And you hardly ever see it. What can I do about it? What can you do about it? But my focus was on the lagging indicator, the problem. Let's start looking at solutions. Let's go back to the leading indicators. Now, we'll spend more time on that, hopefully, in the future. But really, I'd like you to think about it. I'd like you to go see the movie and start thinking about what can you do starting today. You can't go out there and solve this problem. You can't go out and start focusing in on the lagging indicator, the problem itself, but you can focus on the leading indicators, the things that are happening in your family, in your personal life, the things that you accept in our communities. They all lead to it. So we can do something about it. I'm going to say be a river. Now, I've been focusing this last week on what does it mean to be a river? What does it mean to have that river mindset versus, say, a reservoir mindset? Both have their good things. I'm not condemning one or the other, but one is more permanent than the other. A reservoir mindset is all about what can I get, how much water can I attract into my reservoir? How much shoreline can I get around my reservoir? Look at that guy's boat. How do I get a boat like that? Or how do I get fish in a reservoir? They don't come naturally, so I got to buy them. I'll buy big fish so everybody can come fish in my reservoir. Now, bear in mind that you create thousands and hundreds of thousands of jobs, and that's a mindset that thrives. However, sooner or later, you have to temper that, or it's going to dry up. It's going to go away. And the other mindset, the mindset that I think is prevalent that we need to arise and awaken, is the river mindset. Rivers attract flow. You're focusing on the flow, not how much you can get there. And flow always attracts. It attracts tributaries, naturally. It attracts wildlife to its shores, naturally. It creates spawning beds, naturally. And then it gives. It irrigates pastures. It irrigates crops. It creates electricity. What kind of a leader are you? Are you a reservoir leader or a river leader? Just look around the world and you can see where emphasis is happening. So I started thinking about the relationship between what I consider to be one of the greatest characteristics or qualities, the mother of all virtues, as Cicero said, okay, is gratitude. And the difference between being grateful for and grateful in. And then I threw in there the enemy of thriving is arriving. And so now I push these all together, and I want you to kind of think with me as I push it back out to you, okay? So there's a beautiful relationship between the idea of being grateful in every situation and a river that is in flow. Now here's flow. I said, okay, what can flow stand for? First of all, like a river that continuously flows, it's always adapting, it's always reshaping itself based upon the terrain it encounters. So by being grateful in every situation, not complaining, you are in a continual learning process. Always make your learning greater than the experience. So if we can stay in gratitude, no matter what the circumstances we face, whether they're peaceful, challenging, joyous, or sorrowful, there's always something to learn. Always something we can gain wisdom from. So if you think about forever learning, yes, absolutely. That's what that gratitude mind brings, and that's the same as a river. And then let's spell flow. So forever learning, O is optimizing. Being grateful in every situation involves optimizing our perspectives, so that we don't look at things and say what's wrong with them. We say what's right and how do we do more of that, especially in the midst of difficulties. I'm not saying we ignore pain, we not ignore hardship, but it does mean recognizing the potential for learning and growth that's within every circumstance. And much like a river optimizes its path, carves its way through terrains, creates valleys, and nourishes the ecosystems, our attitude of gratitude being grateful helps us optimize our life experiences. And it transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. And what does that lead to? Wisdom. Being grateful in every situation cultivates wisdom. Every experience met with an attitude of gratitude in, being grateful in, contributes to our wisdom and deepens our understanding of ourselves and our life's complexities. So the flow of a river, forever learning, optimizing wisdom. So it is a fitting metaphor, the river and being in gratitude. You know, I've often said the enemy of thriving is arriving. And that quote in and of itself suggests that the moment we believe we've arrived, we stop striving, stopped growing. Just like a river. Rivers don't arrive. River is in a perpetual state of becoming. It never arrives. It's constantly flowing, adapting, and changing. So a river goes. And like flow, forever learning and optimizing wisdom, that's perfect with that quote. So life is like a river. Sometimes it sweeps you gently along, and sometimes the rapids come out of nowhere. But if you've got flow, and if you've got that river mindset, then you're going to be the leader that can lead even through these tumultuous times. So my challenge, how can we watch a movie like Sound of Freedom and walk out of there with a sense of being in gratitude regardless of our circumstances, and focus on the river where we can flow, where we can attract, where we can do good things and be the leading indicators that are going to draw more good to us than sit around and complaining about what's going on in the world around me and woe is me, and actually not contributing a thing. All right. So I want you to step back and ask yourself, what are the leading indicators? What's starting with me? What are those things that we can do to strengthen, to be the river that can challenge, beat down rocks, get through everything by staying in flow? Let's not stop and complain. Let's stay in flow. Let's make it happen. We can do that. Be the river. I'm on my soapbox, but I'm feeling really good about it. Have a wonderful week. Keep flowing. We'll talk next week. Bye-bye.